All right, welcome to the bump after the baby, where we're going to be chatting with some amazing mamas that have just went through pregnancy and talking about their ups, their downs, their highs, their lows, and pretty much how supplementation has been a huge blessing for them through this whole entire journey. But first of all, I really just wanted to get each one of these ladies to share just a little snippet of their story. And then I'm going to close this out with some very, very common questions that for those of us that are in the health and wellness industry, we get these questions on the daily. And this is a real big reason why we're doing this event and I'm hosting this event is so we can just get that awareness out there that you don't always have to feel like that. The bump doesn't always have to be there after the baby. So I'd really just like to start with Miss Christy Bauer, and we can get a little bit of her story, and then we'll go from there. Christy?
Thanks, Stephanie. Like she said, I'm Christy Bauer. I've been with Plexus for about 2.5 years, and I actually used Plexus for both of my pregnancies. After starting Plexus, about 5 months later, I found out I was pregnant with my son, and then fast forward 6 months after he was born, I found out I was pregnant with her. So I feel like I've been pregnant since I've started Plexus pretty much. And so I've kind of been through both pregnancies, breastfeeding, still breastfeeding her, and still taking my products, of course. So, but I got started basically with Plexus just for blood sugar issues. I was addicted to sugar and was really just looking for an answer for that. Didn't even think about it with my pregnancies. And then once I found out I was pregnant, I was like, oh my goodness, probably better take this to my doctor because I'm loving the way I'm feeling, but I want to make sure that it's going to be safe and okay for the babies. And so I took the ingredients to the doctor and they approved them. And so I took them for both. So this little girl's being squirmy. She didn't want to take her nap, so she's joining me. This is Emma. But Plexus has just been wonderful for both of us. Well, for all three of us, really. They get the products through my breast milk. I still feed my son breast milk. He's 18 months today, and she's 3 months. So we've just really been blessed by the products. We're loving, the way we're feeling, and we started mommy groups whenever I found out I was pregnant. I got into 2 mommy groups, one with her group and then one with Jackson's group. And so I kind of got to see all these other moms who were not taking products and how they were feeling and what they were going through and symptoms they had. And I just felt really blessed with the pregnancies that I had. And then since then, just, with breastfeeding, postpartum depression, all the things that come with, life after babies, I feel like I've been really blessed also. So life has been good. Thank you so much.
That's so awesome, Christy. So Christy, if you were going to share just one product that really was your favorite throughout this bump after the baby, what would that product be?
Oh gosh, just one. Probably my Slim, just because the pink drink, I needed the energy to get, like, while I was pregnant with her, I had this little toddler that was running around everywhere, and being able to have the pink drink energy to like run around after him. And then now since having her, like, Mom, I have 2, with one being 18 months and one being 3 months. It's a lot of work, and it's a lot of, not a ton of sleeping at night sometimes. And luckily we've been pretty blessed. They do pretty good, but I still definitely am very thankful for that pink drink energy, all natural, sustaining, lasts all day, and if I need to pick me up, I can just have another one in the afternoon and I'm good to go for a while. So I'm definitely love pink drink for sure. But before that was probably
I love to hear that. So with the pink drink really regulating your blood sugars, and so did it help you curb your pregnancy cravings towards a healthier dynamic?
Yeah. I had like literally no cravings. I did not gain a ton of weight because I wasn't eating all this crap food. I wasn't had to have the ice cream, had to have, all these things that I thought that I would, when I would think about getting pregnant before, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get huge. I'm going to eat all of the things, all my French toast and waffles and cereal and, all these bad foods. And luckily I was able to start the products before I got pregnant and did not have any cravings with either pregnancy and didn't gain. I mean, I gained some weight, but I lost it immediately. And then with Emma, same thing. I gained, I think I don't know, maybe 40 pounds with her, and have already, I lost it within just a couple of weeks after postpartum. So
that's incredible.
Really lucky.
That is so incredible that it can be, a double whammy right there with helping your, cravings towards that nutritional area instead of going towards the junk. One second to get some of these folks muted. All right.
It was amazing. I felt so blessed.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Christy. And those babies' ears are absolutely gorgeous. Just so beautiful. All right. So.
Got a little Plexus shirt on.
Oh my goodness, she does. That's perfect. Plexus baby. All right. I'm going to hone in over here on Miss Allie Day. She is our, I would have to say out of the group, our newest mama. And she just had her baby on Christmas Day, and just her journey really has been, just for me, for somebody that's really approaching the pregnancy journey in the very near future, has been just a big eye-opener for me on everything that she shared. So I cannot wait to hear a little bit from you, Miss Allie.
You're so sweet. Yeah, my little one is a month old today, and it makes my heart hurt and excited at the same time. Both. You feel both at the same time. I'm like, how is she so big? And then, oh my goodness, I'm excited for her to grow up and to see her little personality keep evolving. But yes, this was my first pregnancy, so I don't have anything to compare it to. But Christy was saying, you hear from other moms, you hear horror stories sometimes, you hear terrible things, and it's like, oh goodness, I don't know what to expect here. And so I came into pregnancy just kind of all right, I'm just going to go with it. I'm going to try to just go with the flow here. And I'll tell you guys, my personality, I'm a doer. I'm a go person. I'm not, my mom makes jokes that I'm the worst patient ever. Anytime I've ever been sick in my life, I am trying to get up and move and do while I have a fever. It's crazy. I'm a mess. And so that first trimester, I thought I was dying, y'all. Not really, but I had such a hard time. But I'll be honest, my energy was never a problem. I felt like that's why I was almost so frustrated, is I was like, I'm nauseous, laid up on the couch here, but I feel like if I wasn't nauseous, I could go and do all the things, And so really, that was kind of the first okay, maybe it's this is this awesome. It's crazy. I've been on products over 3.5 years, and I was still, was skeptical. I'm like, is this really working? Is this really doing this to me? But anyway, as I made it through that first trimester into the second trimester, it was, I felt the same. I would post different updates just about different things I was doing. I actually moved during my second trimester and, talked about unpacking the garage and all of this. And people were like, what are you doing? You're pregnant. How do you have the energy to do all of that? And I just did. And I felt great. And, I didn't have, I don't feel like I was crazy ever with the hormones. We can ask, he's here. We can ask Austin if I was a little crazy lady, but I felt great. And I was someone who, pre-Plexus, I struggled with anxiety and depression. I had major gut health issues that wreaked havoc on my entire body. And there's a huge connection between gut health and your mental stage. And I had struggled for so long. Actually, mental illness runs in my family. Everyone almost in my family struggles with something along those lines. And so, coming into pregnancy, of course, I was super nervous because you got the hormones going like crazy. And I'll be honest, I was really nervous about postpartum too. I remember I talked to my midwife about it. I'm like, I am someone who is, more susceptible to postpartum depression. And I don't really know what to do. I don't know how to make sure that doesn't happen to me, but I just want you to be aware, to be looking out, but I never had that. I never had moments where I felt frustrated or crazy emotional or anything like that. And that's really, really a blessing. And I definitely feel like a huge part of it was getting my gut healthy before I started taking the product before I got pregnant, and then through pregnancy as well. I'm looking at my notes. I was also pregnant through the holidays, and I like food that tastes seasonal. I want all the pumpkin bread in the fall, give me the pumpkin things. And I want all the cinnamon, pepperminty goodness in the, winter months. And I did not not eat those things. I didn't tell myself no, you can't have it or whatever. But I didn't crazy indulge either. And I only in my pregnancy only gained 19 pounds. And it was 3 weeks postpartum. I'm already back in my pregnancy clothes. And so again, I haven't been really exercising yet. I haven't been clear to do that, but I did start walking around between week 2 and week 3 of baby being here. We just go in her little stroller and go for a walk around the block or whatever. That's really all I've been doing. I mean, the weight has just come off very, very easily and nicely. And that's been really awesome. And I've been grateful for that. I am breastfeeding. I haven't had any issues with supply. I feel like a lot of moms who want to breastfeed, they're super nervous about that. Like you hear stories. One of my best friends had a baby last year and she was in tears every day because she couldn't produce enough. And I just, was panicky as a new mom. I'm like, is that going to be me? Like, I don't know. How am I going to handle it? Am I going to feel like a failure if that happens to me? And I've been super, super grateful, just counting my blessings that, insulin levels are related to your milk supply, and Slim helps with that, and the Pink Drink helps with that so much. And so being able to produce enough to feed my daughter, I mean, that's just a mama victory for sure for me. I'm trying to think if there's really anything else, but again, with the whole, being worried about postpartum, I haven't had any struggles yet. I know that it can hit kind of at different times, so we won't, I'll definitely knock on wood and keep praying to Jesus for sure. But I have felt really good. I haven't had mom and breakdown moments very often. I haven't had, I feel, just different stories that you hear. I haven't experienced that. And so I've just been super grateful. And I'll say to Emily Roberts, who's on this call, she is awesome. I did have a moment with her where I was like, hey, how do I do this? I work my Plexus business. I'm like, I have a newborn baby. How do I do this? I don't know. And she's like, girl, be a mom. Like, just be a mom for a little while at your business. You can come back to it. And so, that's been awesome too, to have, I know that the call's not really about this, but to have the kind of job where you can kind of shift it to the side for a minute and do the most important job first. And that's been a huge blessing for sure. I think that's helped with a lot of the worries and the stress and the anxieties, because I don't have that about going back to work, and it's a huge blessing, and I'm just so grateful. So that's most of my story. I feel like I'm all over the brain. My brain is real.
I absolutely love it. I am interested, since you struggled with a little bit of anxiety and depression before you started Plexus, even before the whole baby journey. I know that you were on a good amount of our products, but if you were to kind of like hone in through this pregnancy and after in the postpartum stages, what do you think, like what product do you think has really helped you maintain those healthy levels as far as, anxiety and, the depression?
Right, sure. For me, I think the one that kind of, the two really, that's hard, but ProBio 5 for sure. ProBio and then BioCleanse, because they work together. Like, I don't typically recommend people taking ProBio without BioCleanse, just because I have the kind of GI tract that I need both. But I do feel like just having that probiotic in there and having, the antifungal in there, that's just getting rid of the junk constantly. Because, really that's the junk that's in our gut is what causes all of the issues up here. And so I just got to keep it constantly cleared out and constantly out of there. And I do eat pretty clean most of the time, but through the holidays, you're having this and that sugar, and it's adding up the gut damage in there. It can wreck some havoc if you're not on top of it, if you're not constantly, it's like taking out the trash. So you got to keep taking out the trash. Your trash can's going to be full of garbage, and it's going to smell bad and do all kinds of nasty stuff. So that I would definitely say ProBio 5 and then BioCleanse if I can say two.
Oh yeah, two. It's hard for me to pick one too, so I understand. All right. Thank you so much, Allie, for sharing that. So next, I'm going to pull it over to Miss Emily Roberts, and we're going to chit-chat with her about her journey after the baby bump.
Yes, so this is Scarlett, for those that can see her.
Hi, Scarlett.
She is about 2.5 months, and she is baby number 3. So I had a pregnancy without Plexus, and then I had my middle child. That was a good Plexus pregnancy. It was also right after a year of working out with the trainer. So right when I was feeling really good about myself, my husband's like, there you go. Like, here's a baby for you. And then Miss Scarlett surprised us as well. we were thinking about it, you know, when you start thinking about things and then your bodies are just like, you know, like magnets, right? So she surprised us, but she's precious. But lots of differences that I want to talk about. Like last time we did this, I kept it real when it came to Plexus, you know, during my pregnancy and after the fact. Like I didn't want my boobs sitting on my fat roll forever. That was just let's be real. Like I'm vain as all get out. I like to look pretty. I like to do my hair and put on makeup. But as a mom, we don't always have that luxury. So if I cannot look like this all the time, I want to make sure that everything else is working the right way and that I don't hurt all over, and that that I'm going to the bathroom regularly, because we only get like one trip a day, right, moms? Like you don't get to go all the time. So I needed to make sure all that was flowing before I had, you know, 30 seconds to put my face on. And with her, the first thing I noticed, obviously she was a girl, so that was a little different. I have 2 boys, and they were like Tonka trucks, and she was just like a little TV remote control coming out. But they were not. They were just full force, crazy big. So I noticed she was a lot tinier, which has nothing to do with Plexus. Just having a little girl, I prayed for a 6-pound baby girl, let me tell you that. So when she came out, the first thing I asked my husband for was ProBio 5, which is our probiotic supplement. In the newborn stage of life, really until they're 18, you're not going to sleep as much, right? Because they're going to be doing things you don't want them doing, or they're going to be waking up to eat. They get fussy, they get lonely. And so your sleep schedule the first couple months is like, do you even have one? Like, do you even sleep, bro? That's kind of where I'm at right now. She's starting to cluster feed and starting to wake up a lot. That's why she's not napping, just like Christy or wherever she went. Where'd you go? Christy mentioned. So for me, getting a good night's sleep was necessary, because when mama don't sleep, the rest of the house gonna pay. Like that's just kind of how my house survives, right? And when I talked to my OB, the middle child, I was like, hey, this is what I want to take. Let me know your thoughts. I also got with my lactation consultant. A lot of people don't have one of those, but if you do have one, use them, call them. Mine is nationally certified, and she was all about those probiotics. She was all about hearing about Plexus and what I was like interested in. And she gave me a pat on the back, which after you have a baby, that feels good, right? Just to hear that you're doing something right and you're taking care of yourself, because we go on the back burner all the time. And so for me, using that and feeling well rested, even if it was 30 minutes, even if it was an hour of sleep, just being able to like wake up and not feel the anxiety of my day, or the stress of that comes with baby of, oh, I'm not ready yet, like just 5 more minutes. With baby number 2, my husband was in the military and gone a lot. With him, he lives here. He works close to home, and so it's nice having him around. But with the differences between that Plexus pregnancy and this one, I was still a hot, stinking mess. I think that our bodies, like, we hold on to stress, and our bodies, like, hold on to water, all that jazz. But we have thoughts, okay? Dark thoughts, happy thoughts. When you have your baby, you have thoughts that you didn't even know you could think, right? Like, for me, like, I'm about to turn 28 years old in a couple of weeks, and I can't go there. Like, I can't go there. I don't want to look past 30, because that means they're getting older and they're not going to need me. And I like freak out. I don't know if any other moms feel that way, but my mom's like, oh, you're about to be 28. And I'm like, don't go there. Can't go there yet. Because I don't ever want to think of her growing up and not needing me. Like, we're besties. Don't cry. Girl, you stuck with me for life. So I hands down firmly believe that Plexus has made a significant difference from baby number 1, bless his heart, because mama was a mess, to my other 2 children. And maybe it's a God thing, maybe it's a Plexus thing, but I feel like by baby number 3, she's been a little easier on me. But I think it's just because I feel good. I feel good. I feel confident. I knew that everything was going to hang in places I didn't want it to hang. I mean, come on, it's baby 3. I know the elasticity of my skin. I know breast milk comes in on day 4 for me. So by day 4, everyone was praying to Jesus in our house. Like, okay, mom's going to the back room. Everybody go on the other side of the house. Like, just let her figure it out. And so I love that I crave water, because with my first pregnancy, I was drinking Diet Coke like it was going out of style. I shared this the last time we spoke. It put me in the hospital because I was dehydrated. My doctor was like, are you hydrating, Miss Roberts? And I was like, yeah, with like 7 Diet Cokes a day. And he's like, no, ma'am. No. And now I'm happy to say in 4 years, I have not had one. I have not wanted one. I haven't thought about one. And to be a mom and not have to rely on caffeine, I think that's huge. And not to mention, if you want to nurse your baby, excessive amounts of caffeine is not good. So I love that Plexus is that caffeine, sugar-free, awesome drink that's like my mom drinks. Oh, goodness. She got a bone in that last meal. She got a bone. So she is happily fed. She's starting to get some rolls. Oh, hello. She's not very happy. I think she pooped. It stinks over here. So I'll wrap this up. Before you ask me, I know I said probiotics, but my favorite Plexus product is Plexus Ease. Hands freaking down. Postpartum, especially moms are going through a lot of pain, everything's shrinking and all that jazz. Most of your doctors will tell you Motrin or Tylenol on occasion, 4 to 6 hours. I have been in the more holistic mindset in the sense of I don't want to go over the counter. I want to go plexusworldwide.com. So I've been going and grabbing Ease, which it stinks. Fair warning, it has shellfish, mollusks in it, and it stinks. So mama throws it back with some orange juice. I mean, I was throwing it back, and that's how we got pregnant, if you know what I mean. So here we are again. It's just a repeating cycle. I know that was a bad joke. I know, I'm sorry. She doesn't like my jokes. So I use Ease during my pregnancy. I also had a uterine fibroid tumor, so my doctor wanted me on an anti-inflammatory supplement, and that's what Ease does. It is for topical and just discomfort. All sorts of discomfort. Let me tell you, during pregnancy and after, I think after has more, like way more discomfort because you're tired, everything's going back into place, you're stretched out, your abs are really sore even though you aren't really using them, they're just going back in place. And you get like nursing arm, nursing elbow, or like when you're feeding baby, you get all these little different discomforts. So hands down, Ease is where it's at. I feel like my pregnancy face is gone. I've lost that baby weight that everyone's been talking about. And for baby 3, that was unexpected. I thought I was going to be carrying around 50 pounds for a couple months. And the fact that I'm maybe 10 pounds from where I want to be, I'm okay with that. Oh, I know I talked your ear off, Kim.
No, that's incredible. No, I'm really glad that you brought up the Ease. And I know that you said that you had taken your products to a lactation consultant and your OBGYN. And so she didn't have an issue with it having shellfish in it whatsoever.
No, she did ask if I had an allergy or if there was a known allergy in my family, and there was not. And I took the ingredient, or I actually just pulled it out of my purse because I was already taking it. And I said, check it out. She loved that it had turmeric in it because turmeric is great anti-inflammatory. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can cook it in your stove or you can just take Ease. I don't know, up to you. But I really like it. My wedding finger fit my whole pregnancy. That was a mommy victory. Allie mentioned a mommy victory. That would be mine because I didn't want to lose it. I lose everything. That was one thing that I really noticed.
That's incredible. Gosh. And baby number 3, girl, you look phenomenal. And she is just too cute. Look at those cheeks. I love it. Oh my goodness. Okay. So she pretty much answered the question that I was going to ask her about, which is baby 3 and the pain level. So she's on point with that. Emily's just got it in the bag. So I'm going to move on over to Miss Lori Allen. And Miss Lori Allen is a little bit different because, see, she has had some C-section babies. And that is a really big topic in what we do for a living with health and wellness. We have a ton of people reaching out to us saying, with C-section, the recovery is a little bit different, Stephanie. I'm in a little bit more pain here, a little bit, this, that, and the other. So we're just really, really, really grateful that Lori is here today to share a little bit of her journey and how the difference has been with supplementation from baby number 1 and baby number 2 through C-section. So Lori?
Hi guys, my name is Lori. I'm a mom of 3. So I have a teenager and then a teenage daughter, and then I have a 5-year-old son and a 2-year-old Plexus baby. So I'm probably the oldest mama in here as far as how old my baby is. But it was a total night and day difference for me when it came to not just the pregnancies, but the postpartum afterwards. So with my second son, I had 2 breech boys. So Eden was a natural delivery and my boys were both breech. So I had C-sections, scheduled C-sections with them. My second I did not have Plexus with him. I gained a lot of weight. I craved a lot of junk, and I had a very, very rough recovery from my C-section. It was excruciatingly painful. I had to stay in the guest room downstairs. Like, I could barely walk, laughing, talking, all of the stuff you have to do to pick up your baby, versus I experienced it with my first. Like, it was horrible. So when I was pregnant with Jude, who was my Plexus baby, I shared this on another call. It was like a dream pregnancy. I had Eden and Seth were both high risk. Jude was a perfectly healthy pregnancy. I always had blood pressure issues. They were perfect throughout my entire pregnancy, which was a huge blessing. I was super active. And I had great energy. I was getting up at 3:30 every morning to go work out, because at that time I had a full-time job I had to get to, and I needed to be home before my husband left for work at 5:30. So, and I felt great. I was super thankful for that. I got that special bonding time with Jude, and I was able to maintain a healthy weight for the first time and not gain 70 pounds. So it was just phenomenal. And I was doing everything I could to have a VBAC with him, because I had already experienced a natural delivery versus a C-section. I did, oh my gosh, acupuncture, chiropractic. I'm very natural, so I wouldn't do anything crazy. And with Seth, I tried like the aversion thing, and it was a disaster. So I didn't want to do that with Jude. I wanted to do anything natural to try to get him to coax him to turn, and it didn't work. So the idea of having a second C-section kind of creeped me out, because I had heard all these horror stories. Even though I felt great during my pregnancy, they're like, oh my gosh, the second C-section is the worst. You're going to go through scar tissue. It's going to be so painful. And I'm like, oh great, it's wonderful. But thankfully I was very healthy. I had my C-section, and it was, I can't even describe it as being anything but just amazing. It was the easiest surgery I'd ever gone through. I was, up and walking the same day as soon as my spinal wore off. Of course you have some abdominal pain, but it was nothing like before. It was nothing like I experienced before. I was able to come upstairs to my bedroom, the day we got home from the hospital. I didn't have to have the pressure pillow or any of that stuff. I was taking, praise God for BioCleanse. I was taking BioCleanse because, they want to put you on a lot of narcotics after you have a C-section for pain. I'm very against that. So I was taking a lot of BioCleanse to help with my bowels, which worked like a dream. And I lived on Ease, because I think my first 2 days in the hospital, I was taking the pain meds they gave me. But after that, I was just taking Ease to ease my discomfort, because it wasn't that bad. Like, people think I'm crazy, but it wasn't as bad as it was before. And I didn't feel doped up, and I didn't feel tired. And, you don't get a lot of sleep when you have a newborn, but the sleep I did get was great. So it was just a totally huge difference for me as far as that, and my milk supply too, because I really struggled with my son and my second baby to nurse him. I had breast implants I had a lift and implants between getting pregnant with between Eden and Seth. So I'd gone to a lactation specialist. I was having a lot of trouble. She made me feel terrible, basically telling me that it was my own fault I couldn't breastfeed, and there was really something going on in my body, and I didn't know. So having Jude, I knew that was completely false, and my body was just not where it needed to be, because I produced milk like a champ. So I was super thankful for that. I didn't have to have any special anything. I was just as soon, probably, I think, like day 3 or 4, my milk came in great. I had an abundance of supply. I nursed him, perfect for the first year. So it was, that was a super victory for me, because Seth, I think I nursed for maybe 2 months. And then as his tummy got bigger, I just was not producing enough to satisfy him. So that's a little bit of my postpartum story.
I love it. So you would have to say that your products through these, like, your favorite were Ease and BioCleanse for sure, huh?
Yes, definitely. And like Christy was saying, the Slim, for sure. 1 or 2 Slims were like a necessity after, because you're only getting about 3 hours of broken sleep a night.
Right.
So yeah, you definitely feel that. But I had my products with me at the hospital. I was even giving samples to the nurses, because I could not go without them. They were like,
That's
what are you
incredible.
taking?
That is incredible. So, I know that with the majority of women, y'all burn about 500 calories a day just by breastfeeding. That's incredible to me, but I just think it's even bigger that we have these amazing products like this, the triplex combo, you know, like the Slim and the ProBio and the BioCleanse that can actually increase that breast milk. And me personally, just with some of my customers, I've seen them actually, you know, drop that baby weight rather quickly. And one of them mentioned to me, she was like, do you think it's because I'm producing so much breast milk because I'm, you know, breastfeeding so much and I'm burning through all these calories? And I was like, that, and your blood sugar is regulated, so you're releasing the stored fats that you got in there. So I just think it's incredible that every single one of y'all were able to produce an ample amount of breast milk and feed your kiddos as long as you want, because just, I know y'all come in contact with people every day that just struggle with that, and they just don't realize how much that it has such a core link to our blood sugar and our gut health. So it's really great to hear from y'all and to bring awareness on this subject, that it's a struggle, but it doesn't always have to be. There are other routes out there, and supplementation is so much more than what people really kind of think that it is. But Laura, I just kind of wanted to hone in on that C-section right there. So I've spoke with a lot of people that said that they were in a good amount of pain after the C-section. You know, just with, you know, this can get a little TMI, but, you know, with the perineum, you know, you might tear a little bit here and there. But so that ease was just, you said you only took your medication at the hospital just for a couple days, and your ease really helped you throughout the whole entire pain management part of it?
Yeah, it did. I didn't like the way I felt on the pain medicine. So of course in the hospital, they're not going to let you not take it. So I took it. But again, you know, that causes constipation, which I'd struggled with prior to Plexus. So I didn't want to like throw off my body any more than I had to. So I took it. I was in the hospital for 2 days after I had my C-section. So I took the medication they gave me there, and I got my prescription. I took it home, but I didn't like the way I felt. So of course I'm like, I'm taking, you know, ease every few hours, and it really the pain that I had in my incision site. I didn't really have any perineum pain because they were scheduled C-sections, so I didn't really have any of the like trauma that a lot of women get that have like emergency C-sections. Yeah, I mean, everything, the swelling, the tenderness, I don't even have like a scar. Like even my scarring, my doctor was, for having a second C-section, there's like nothing there. And she was blown away. She's like, you're not even going to hardly have a line there. And I'm just like, okay, and I'm happy about it. But I'm just, overall, I think in my best health during my third pregnancy, which makes a huge, huge difference.
Yes, absolutely. So you brought up a good valid point when you were talking about your C-section scar that I was going to get into. So one product that I think is extremely under the radar when it comes to our amazing supplements is our Plexus Body Cream. And we were actually chatting about it just a little bit for those of y'all that are listening before the call started, and how many amazing uses it has. But one of those big uses that is not really chatted about much is it's great for scarring and stretch marks and all of that. Okay, y'all, I have not had a baby, but I had some serious stretch marks on my thighs, and they are bye-bye. So, I mean, have any of y'all used the Plexus Body Cream on your stretch marks or on your C-section scar? Anything? Have you seen really good side effects with that, I guess you could say, or outcome?
Yeah, for my family in general, like the women in my family, we have terrible elasticity in our skin. So we're just prone, quote unquote, you know, to stretch marks. I knew it was going to happen one day when I had babies, and it did. And my lovely husband pointed it out first, and he was like, hey, look, you got one. I was like, gee, thanks. And that was the first baby. So I had my good freak out with him. He was 9.2 pounds at birth. I told you, he was a Tonka truck coming out. So when I had my middle child and the last one, they were definitely smaller babies, but I didn't have like these bright purple stripes that I had with my first one. And even his, within a year of like, I mean, I was religious about my body cream. I put it on 3 to 4 times a day. I kept it in my purse after every shower was my favorite, because your pores are open and it really absorbs it. Sometimes I would even go to like my local store and get like saran wrap and wrap myself after I put body cream on, and I would sleep in it because you sweat and you absorb all that. And it was just, I swear by it. And I like it in my hair, as you know.
Yes. It's an amazing product, but I just thought I would bring it up on that because it's just been such a game changer for those stretch marks after the baby. But really, I mean, we kind of touched on the other topic that I was going to talk about, which is a big topic that doesn't get boldly talked about that much, which is constipation. Going to the bathroom after you have a child, it can be, well, one of two ways: absolutely great or no bueno. Okay. So it's just really, really comforting to know that there are products out there that are completely natural and they can help you through that process without having to take Miralax, or I think the other one's called like Colate that they give you. I could be mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. But both of those are what, I mean, I have researched and read as much as I possibly can, and that's what they're recommending. But if you go into those ingredients and you see, check those labels, check those ingredients, not the best ingredients whatsoever. So it's just so awesome to know that after you have this baby, you have a supplement that can help you go poo, because Lord knows that can be an uncomfortable situation. And I know it makes me excited for whenever pregnancy comes that I'm going to have that there, because just for me personally, my friends have really struggled with that. A few of them have really struggled with that. So, but other than that, I mean, the change in y'all's hormones after pregnancy, you would say that, that you were in a good place, right? Your hormones weren't all over the place and, scattered and crazy. I know, I can't remember which one of y'all said, mom brain is real, but it's just great when you don't have mom brain 24/7. So, and I've noticed that. I mean, just like Lori was saying, she was working a business, and Allie, she was, she had her baby on Christmas, and she, working the business over the holidays, and then all that stuff, that can put a lot of stress on somebody's shoulders, Emily having baby 3. So it's just really comforting to know that these supplements can be so much more than increased milk supply. They can be so much more than a good sleep at night, even though those things are incredible. I mean, the amazing side effects that come with these all natural products through this journey that these incredible women have went through is just a testimony that really needed to be shared. So I'm just so overjoyed that every single one of y'all have taken some time today to share your hearts and, your struggles and your ups and your downs with us. So that way that other people out there don't have to struggle. So I just really, really appreciate it. And if anybody doesn't have any questions, I know we have a couple guests on here. I'll leave it open for like a couple minutes. If y'all have a question for any of these ladies, go ahead and put it in that chat, and I will get those questions answered for you. And we'll give it just a couple minutes. And if nobody chimes in, then we will just go enjoy our beautiful day, because the weather is incredible today, and I'm excited about getting some vitamin D. All right.
I wanted to chime in on something. She was making noises when you were talking about it. So I was like, okay, maybe she'll be quiet in a second. But as far as like going to the bathroom, right, pooping, that awesome topic, constipation. Oh, yeah, that's one of your favorite things. Okay. Well, like, she's like, that's all I do, eat, poop, and sleep. Okay. But I was actually, again, it's so crazy. I've been on the product 3.5 years, and I was incredibly surprised as to how much it helped me postpartum. I did have a vaginal birth. I went the natural route. I did a water birth, and I was a little bit paranoid about going to the bathroom because everyone tells you how terrible it is after you give birth. I just feel like that's just like, get on Pinterest, like, and type in postpartum, and it's like all about pooping. So I was a little bit nervous, but you guys, I had her at almost 2 a.m. And around, I think it was like 7 a.m., I like felt like, oh, I gotta go to the bathroom. And I was like freaking out, like, oh, okay. And no issues, seriously. I didn't even have pain. And I feel it in that. I know this is like super TMI, but like true life, I didn't even have pain. Like, how is that even possible? But it's because the products, like, they work. Your system is regular. You're ready to go even after, delivering a baby. And I have not had a single issue since she was born. I mean, not at all, not a day of constipation, not even during pregnancy. And so I just really, I feel like, especially mamas who maybe had some struggles with it before, it would be totally worth it to try it out for second, third, whatever, plus pregnancies. I was shocked at my experience, truly. And I mean, and I'm already a believer in Plexus. So I just wanted to throw that out there and put it out there just in case, because I did have issues with going to the bathroom pre-Plexus. So I was pretty nervous about it. So anyway, just putting it out there.
No, I'm so glad that you shared that, because honestly, that's one. I have so many people that are first-time moms, and they're like, I'm just afraid to go to the bathroom the first time after. I'm so afraid. I'm like, don't be. Right. Everything's going to be great, I promise. But so no questions. So I just wanted to thank y'all all again. My name is Stephanie Santiago. So if y'all are watching this video and you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to shoot me a message. Ladies, thanks so much. Y'all have an amazing day. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.